Hey, welcome back to another edition of Everything Football 62. I'm your host, Jonathan Big Tex Johnson, a.k.a. Uncle Tex, a.k.a. Professor Tex. Before we get started, smash that like button, subscribe to the page. Got any questions, or anything about the show, concerns, comments, debates back and forth about some football? Hey, man, be willing to chop it up with you. It's all good. I'm go down the line about past. I guess it's past this week 6 in my picks, and then I'm in week 6 in my picks and how I went, and then I'm gonna go into week 7 and make my picks, and then I'm gonna have a few things, choice words from Mr. Richard Sherman, and some of the things he said becoming used to be one of my favorite cornerbacks in the game, but now since he's kind of been out the league and whatnot, not really been one of my favorite players. Talks a lot of stuff and whatnot. But then again, there's so much cowboy hate. It's ridiculous, but it's all good, though. It's all good. He has his right to talk and whatnot. So, but I'll debunk a lot of what he was talking about in a few minutes. Let's get into it. Well, guys, I went 8-6. Not bad. Had a couple of wild card picks. It probably would have put me at around 11-4. But hey, around maybe 11-5 maybe. Something like that, or 11-2, yeah, maybe 11-2, or 11-3, around 11-3. I think I probably would have went 11-3, a couple of wild card picks. Well, at least 10-4. I think I would have went 10-4. Let me go back 10-4, a couple of wild card picks I had and whatnot. Let's go down the line and what I said. Kansas City and Denver, a little closer game. They still getting the kinks worked out over in Kansas City, but I think everything is going to be all right and whatnot and whatnot. They're flying under the radar. Even with all that mess with that girl and Travis Kelce and whatnot and stuff like that, the Chiefs, ironically enough, they're flying under the radar. Even with all that mess going on as far as football is concerned and what they're trying to get brewing over there, they quietly have went 5-1 and not making a lot of noise, and nobody's really paying them no mind. It's all for the wrong reasons. Baltimore, Tennessee, pretty decent game. This game could have been a blowout. A lot of mistakes and whatnot and stuff going on there and whatnot. But Baltimore pulled it out. Another team, Baltimore's kind of flying under the radar. Some games that they should have won. At least 2 games for sure they should have won and whatnot. But Baltimore's playing some decent ball. So that AFC North shaping up is going to be a pretty good race and whatnot and stuff like that. Just sit up there and see on the wire here that it might be talk of Derrick Henry getting traded. You know how true that is, but just show you the value of a running back. Commanders and the Falcons, this was a pretty decent game and whatnot. Sam Howell actually came to play. Commanders got some players. I've been saying that for the last couple of years. Their issue has been a quarterback. At this particular point in time, still got a couple more weeks. At this particular point in time, you don't know what you're getting with Sam Howell. But he did throw 3 touchdown passes and whatnot, and they beat Atlanta. Atlanta got to get their quarterback, Desmond. I can't remember where he went at in the draft. He was okay at Cincinnati. I didn't see anything. You know, they had a good year there a couple of years ago. I don't really see it, but we'll see what happens, though. They picked him. We'll see what happens and whatnot. Always fun to sit there and watch Bijan Robinson run. Always, that's cool to watch him. Minnesota and Chicago had Justin Fields finished out the game. They probably win this game. I think I might have gave it to Chicago to win and whatnot. So we'll see what happens with Minnesota. Been hearing talks about Kirk Cousins and whatnot. Chicago just I don't know what to say about them and whatnot. Haven't really had a top tier quarterback since Sid Luckman. You're talking about over 80 some years ago. Seattle and Cincinnati. I actually picked Seattle to win. Seattle actually had a chance to win. It was down in their red zone. I think they might have been on the 20, 4th and 8. Geno takes the sack. Cincinnati comes up with the big play and whatnot. Wasn't no great stats there for really any other team there. I thought Seattle would be able to do some things with them, and they really, and they didn't do it. I mean, now it's starting to be questions about Geno. I was like, okay, well, we'll see what happens, even with that situation. Big game here, of course, Cleveland and San Francisco. I watched that game from start to finish, and had they, and I'll go on record saying this, had they had Deshaun Watson, a healthy Deshaun Watson, they put up at least 25 to 30 points on them. They had ample time to put up more points than the 19 that they actually put up. but they just couldn't get it done. And with the athleticism of somebody like Deshaun Watson playing there and whatnot, and being able to scramble and buy time, because that's one of the good things that he doesn't get enough credit for, is buying time. And his shoulder's a lot jacked up than I think what people give credit. At first, Stefanski, I think that's the coach's name, was like, well, I thought he was going to play. And then when he came into getting ready to play Baltimore, I said, well, I guess he can't play. And then his thing might be more severe. Now, let's keep an eye on the shoulder business. And I'm saying this because he kind of came up under Cam. He's a kid from out of Georgia and whatnot. And remember, Cam, who was having a at the time an NFL MVP type season, and that was 2018, I believe. 2018, 2019, yeah, 2018, I think it was 2018. And when it was like 6-2 or something like that after 8 games, that's all I tell you about, half a season. And he still tried to play with that shoulder, and that man's shoulder has not been the same since. It may have healed now, but his shoulder hasn't been the same since. And he might have taken it and said, dude, don't go back in there unless that damn thing is 110%. Because Cam has not really been the same since that shoulder, since that particular year. And as a quarterback, that's what you rely on, is that shoulder and that rotation of throwing that ball and whatnot. So, yeah, that was a surprise. San Francisco, some of these guys, Deebo Samuels, Christian McCaffrey, Big Trent Williams, all them guys got hurt. Dudes walking with a boot afterwards, oblique with the whole McCaffrey thing, and the shoulder with Deebo Samuels. They may be back coming up Monday. I don't know, but that's something to look at, because this seemed like to be one of them seasons where a lot of star players is probably going to get injured and whatnot. So we'll see what happens. Miami and Carolina pretty much picked that right now. Miami's just lighting everything up. Their offense, probably the best offense going on right now. They're running on all cylinders. Tyreek Hill is having a banner year. He wants to go for 2,000 yards. He'll probably get it, because the way that they're running, the way that they're doing everything right now, it's something. It's a sight to behold. But we'll see what happens as the time goes on, and we have to keep taking a look at Tua Tagovailoa, because again, they were doing really good last year. 1 concussion, 2 concussions, and then he's pretty much out. So how is it going to get played when he messes around and takes a nice hit? Because it's coming. It's coming. You got to know it's coming. So we're going to see how the NFL, how Miami deals with that situation. We'll see. Indianapolis and Jacksonville called this one here. Jayville, the spinner, got up there. They didn't have to do much because, well, Indianapolis turned the ball over. Richardson, I think he's going to be out for the whole season, the rest of the season. Shoulder surgery. Again, another hurt quarterback. Had a lot of potential as a rookie and whatnot. At guard Minshew went up there for a lot of yards. We threw for, I think, 1 touchdown, like 3 picks. And that's why they don't have no gaudy stats for Jacksonville, because they played on the short field, because guy gave the ball away. New Orleans and Houston Texans, I actually thought New Orleans was going to do their thing, but C.J. Stroud, them guys are holding steady over there, man. Holding steady. And they come out with the W against New Orleans. New Orleans got some issues going on over there in New Orleans. This offense things ain't clicking over there right now. We'll see what happens, though. New England and Las Vegas, here's another game. I said New England, I say can. To me, and I said it last week, you can go look it up. He doesn't win this one. This is bad for the Patriots. This is real bad for the Patriots right about now. They had an opportunity to do something with this game. I don't know what Mac Jones is doing. Mac Jones had that 1 year that they relieved or moved on from Cam, who would have been steady as a quarterback. We gave to Mac Jones. Mac Jones, okay, played, got the little fake-ass Pro Bowl shit that they got going on now and whatnot. He hasn't done anything in 2022, and he's not doing anything in 2023. That's all I'm going to say about that. Get what you pay for, but we'll see what's going on. They're acting like the dude, Mac Jones, some type of cancer in the locker room. I don't see how that even works, but I guess. Arizona and the Rams pretty much figured this one out and whatnot. Cooper Kupp, gets like coming out party. Matthew Stafford distributing the ball to him. He got a touchdown, over 100 some odd yards receiving and stuff like that. They had a running back that did pretty good, but then he's hurt. They're having running back issues. They've been having running back issues since Todd Gurley. When Todd Gurley got hurt and that Offensive Player of the Year, or when they won that Offensive Player of the Year award back in, I guess that want to be 2018, 2019, whenever that was, and whatnot, they have been reeling at running back since then. And it's just not working. It can't work with Cam Akers or nothing like that. So we don't know. We're going to see what happens with them and how long Stafford can even stay afloat. We'll see. Philadelphia, New York. Yeah, I thought Philly was going to get this, but Jalen think through three picks. New York, again, they got Aaron Rodgers, man. Who knows how this game would have went and whatnot. But they hung around. The defense, Hall is kind of keeping in that with his running ability and stuff like that. So, we'll see what happens with this here. A little setback for Philly, but not that big of a setback. I think they'll get that thing together because they know they can play better football than that. 26 to call this one with Detroit Lions in Tampa. Yeah, they're playing good ball over there. Jared Goff and all them guys are playing good ball over there. He had him a very, very good game, very productive game. 30 for 44, 353 yards, 2 touchdowns, probably one of his career best games. And Amon Ra St Brown, 12 catches, 124 yards and whatnot. Hey man, they're doing it. Didn't run the ball much and whatnot. Defense is playing pretty good. Baker Mayfield didn't do much at all. He didn't even do anything worth talking about, to be perfectly honest. And I picked that one. I feel because Detroit right now, they're playing very good football. They're playing very good football. Again, you just want to see how long they can keep sustaining this and keep going on when adversity comes. New York and Buffalo. Again, now Tyrod Taylor made a bonehead play right there before halftime. They should have either basically kicked a field goal or something that would have brought this game closer. The 2 pass interference call with a 1 pass interference call that got him down there at the end of the game with 2 or 3 seconds left, and then the non-pass call play. How do you don't have Saquon Barkley in the backfield is beyond me. I don't know. That's that coach over there. They gave that game away. Buffalo still has some issues going on. I think they got a lot of locker room stuff going on right now, and it's not a lot of cohesiveness with other players. I believe right now you got Allen and you got Diggs, and that's pretty much it. Nobody else is stepping up, and I don't see really anything going on with the running back position. I think one of the running backs got carted off the field, they started running back, so they're a mess right now. Like I called bickering Bills like from 1988, 89 with Thurman Thomas and Jim Kelly. But we'll see what happens though. But it's some underlying issues over there, even though they're winning, because they're not winning the way they're supposed to win, because they know that window was doing this for them. It's doing this. Call it what you want, but this is what it's doing. It's doing it right now. So Dallas and LA, that was a good game. Watch that game from start to finish. Dak looked good. When Dak is I think Dak, when he's on the run, when he's on the move, when he's rolling out, he is as effective as any quarterback around. Dak had always kind of been like that, but ever since time Dak broke his leg a couple of years ago, he hasn't had that same wanting to do that. He's just assumed to be, okay, let me just stay in the pocket, be a pocket passer, get away. But before that injury happened, he was prone to run the ball and stuff. He still made some plays with his legs, but he's not as prone to do that like he was since after that play. Just go back and look it up. But when he's moving about, when he can make some plays and kind of rolling out, and get outside the pocket, he can make some plays. And they look good. They gave the ball to Ceede Lamb and whatnot. Got the ball to Ceede Lamb, over 7 catches, 8 or 9 targets, I think, or whatever, over 100 and some odd yards. He didn't score. He could have scored on one if that kind of put it kind of behind. If he let him in there a little bit, he could have took it. He kept going up in the field. I think he got stopped on the 5 or 6 yard line, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, so that's kind of how that is there, man, with those and everything. Going into week 7, and let's go play with these picks here. Travis Etienne and the spinner, I got them beating New Orleans. Vegas, I got Vegas getting Chicago. Cleveland, I got Cleveland getting Indianapolis. Buffalo is going to beat the brakes off of New England. Just put them out their misery. Commanders should beat New York. Daniel Jones is going to play. We'll see. This is going to be this is one of those trap games because Daniel Jones come back. Look, all jokes aside, Daniel Jones has ability to do certain things and whatnot. I'll give him that. He fumbles the ball too damn much. And he's been doing that since he's been in the league since, I think, 2019. He fumbles the ball entirely too much. If he's out up on this game, he's kind of get the ball in Saquon Barkley, dink and dunk pass, hand the ball to Saquon Barkley. They do that, and their defense plays half as good as they played against Buffalo. They should beat the Commanders. But I don't know what you're going to get from them. And this might be a wild card pick, but I'm going to pick New York on them. I'm going to pick New York. I'm going to go ahead and pick New York. I'm going to pick New York on this one. Wild card pick. Atlanta and Tampa Bay. This even shouldn't be one. But I see the newness is getting ready to kind of roll off. Another wild card pick. I'm gonna take Atlanta. Detroit and Baltimore. I'm taking B more. I'm taking B more because I think I'm taking Baltimore. Baltimore got to show and prove on this one to play against Detroit. They got to show and prove. They got to put everything together over here, I think, to be the team. And they got that pass with Hutchinson on the other side. That defense is kind of rejuvenated. They got a defense over there. So he's going to be coming. So Lamar's going to bust out of his shell. Like I say, certain times Lamar's going to have to be Superman. That's just a part of his game. Pittsburgh and Los Angeles. I'm taking the Rams on that one. Taking the Rams. I don't know what's going on with old boy over there because they were about to give him a damn Hall of Fame jacket based up on his preseason, based up on training camp and all that. The quarterback over there and whatnot. So I'm gonna give that to the Rams. Arizona and Seattle. Just heard my man's off the PUP list. I don't know if he's gonna play this week, but he's probably getting ready to come back. I'm gonna go ahead and take Seattle. Seattle should win this game. But you just never know. But I'm going to go ahead and say Seattle, they should handle this game. Green Bay and Denver. This is going to be an interesting game. I want to say Denver and my boy Russell Wilson, but I'm going to go ahead on and Jordan Love's going to probably calm it down some or whatever. It might be a shootout. But fuck it. I'm going to say Denver. The old head gonna teach the new head some new things. I'm gonna go ahead and that's another one. LA Chargers and Kansas City. I'm taking Kansas City. Miami and Philly. Philly's bouncing back and they're gonna give Tua fits. I just thought that they're gonna give Tua fits. They're gonna bounce back and give Tua fits. San Francisco and Vikings. I'm gonna go ahead and take San Francisco after that loss against Cleveland and whatnot, because Minnesota don't really have much over there. San Francisco should be able to do some things over there. If they stumble amongst them, something's going wrong with San Francisco. They're not the team you thought they were, but jobs on the line and everything like that, trade rumors and whatnot is talking about over there. So we're going to see what happens, but I'm going to go ahead and take San Francisco. Those are my picks for week 7. Now, let me go. It was something Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman has a theory that Dallas Cowboys Ceede Lamb, and the theory is that for first of the former All-Pro defensive back, his evaluation of the top star. If you think he's a bona fide lineup out there at number 1, then yeah, he's overrated. You say Ceede Lamb is overrated. Sherman said Lamb, then listed a group of number 1 guys: Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, A.J. Brown, Cooper Kupp, Deebo Samuels, and Terry McLaurin. I don't know what this guy been smoking, but this is why I say always in my show, with numbers don't lie and get emotional, people do. And that's obviously, like I say, a good group of wide receivers, not taking anything from any of those guys. But let's do this here. And I went, here's Ceede Lamb. Ceede Lamb is getting ready to go into his 4th year. Ceede Lamb, first year at age 20, 935, 5 touchdowns, 1102, 6 touchdowns, 1359, 9 touchdowns. He's been to back-to-back 2 Pro Bowls, and right now he's sitting on 475 at this real big game, at a touchdown, and there's still 11 games left. And you got to know he's probably going to hit over 1,000 yards, obviously, on that. He has some big games that's going to be coming up there and whatnot. That's what he's done. Now let's go to Deebo Samuel. Everybody likes to holler Deebo Samuels. Deebo. He was hurt coming out of South Carolina. That's rule number 1. Nice rookie year, hurt his second year. 2020 in the second year, in his at first year that was the Super Bowl year. Then he was hurt his second year. Had his breakout season, 1405 and 6 touchdowns and whatnot and all that kind of good stuff, because he's basically a running back playing wide receiver and all that. Hurt the majority. It hurt a lot last year, only 632 yards, and hurt again. Now he's at 302. The first 3 years. It's not even comparative, really, with Ceede Lamb's first 3 years. And Ceede came in when he was 21. This cat came in as 23. So look at the numbers and go back and look at Ceede Lamb. Look at them. I say right there, and then what he's been doing since the 2021-2022 season and whatnot going to 23 season. That's it. Still young, but this is what I'm saying. Say, how can you say he's so much more better? Because he runs reverses and sweeps and lines up in the backfield. If you want to give him that, then fine. But that's not the type of game that he plays. Let's go to A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown, come out 2019. 1051, 1075, 869. Favorable to that of Ceede Lamb. Ceede might have a few more yards than he has at this particular time. Then the big 1496 last year with Philly and whatnot, and 672 thus far, which he's having a nice year right now and whatnot. So, but the first 3 years, I'm always going with the first 3 years of them playing. The first 3 years. This year hasn't panned out. This year is still going on. So I'm going for the first 3 years of these guys' career. Ceede's right there with him, and he's put up favorable numbers from 2022 going into 2023. Again, I don't know what he's talking about. Go to Davante Adams. Remember Davante Adams came out. It was a lot of talk. Troy Aikman used to talk to us. When is this cat going to break out? First year, 446, 483. Then he hit 997 into his third year. 885 at age 25 in his fourth year. And then 2018, from 2018 to now, to going into the 2022 season, he's been one of the best receivers, if not the best receiver in the league from that time. First 3 years, comparable. First 3 years, Ceede has him. Nobody was saying anything or saying that, and Ceede has put up numbers. He's improved every year that he has played in the league. What are these guys talking about? Again, the numbers are right there. First 3 years. I can't judge him by the fourth year right now of the comparison, because the fourth year for Ceede Lamb 2023 season is still going on, despite what everybody may say. Okay, so that's garbage. More garbage. Cooper Kupp. He throws out fucking Cooper Kupp. When he says it's about Cooper Kupp hadn't even played, had missed basically all of last year. And he's only played his second game, getting ready to go into his third game and whatnot. Had a good game against, I forgot who they played. Had the good game there, fine, and whatnot. He had his coming out party, 1947 and whatnot, 17 games. First year they played 17 games and everything and whatnot. And he had 1940 Offensive Player of the Year and all that good stuff. And what he did and all that, all pro, first team all pro and all that, was basically missed missed 6-7 games last year, had 8 and all that, and he's at 30. It's just like, again, another one of these guys came in the league at 24. First 3 years with dude, I'm like, there's no comparison. What are we talking about? And again, when you talk about Adams, when you talk about Brown, when you talk about Debo and whatnot, a lot of balls going into him, coming out the backfield. Brown, teams that are throwing the ball a lot more than what Dallas kind of throws and whatnot. His stats are still right there with these guys. Davante Adams, he's the only guy over in Green Bay that was throwing the ball to himself every now and then. I can't remember my man's name, but that's who was getting the majority of the balls anyway. And he's getting the majority of the balls over there with the Raiders last year and this year. Then you got Cooper Kupp and whatnot. So we'll see what happens with all that. Terry McLaurin, nice receiver for Washington and whatnot. Again, he come in the league, 24 years old. Hit 1, 2, 3. Yeah, him and Ceede's numbers are basically somewhat mirrored the same, around the same the first 3 years. Ceede are probably a little bit more. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? You keep trying to say that. You can only compare for the first 3 years, going into that of this fourth year and whatnot. His numbers is just as good, if not better, than half these guys I'm sitting there talking about. Let's go to Stephon Diggs. And this is what a lot of people don't realize about Stephon Diggs. He comes in 2015. Stephon Diggs didn't have his first 1,000-yard receiving thing until 2018 at age 25. He had 1,021. And I think that's the year that they, when they beat, he threw his helmet off just before Kirk Cousins got there and stuff like that. All that was going on. Then 11:30. He had his first Pro Bowl season, yes, in 2020 at the age of 27, and his first All-Pro season. First team All-Pro season. He just made his first Pro Bowl in 2020 at age 27. And he's been putting up nice numbers for the last 3 years. Bam, 2020, 2021, 2022. Now, if you want to sit up there and go 2020, that's when Ceede came in, 9-something, then another 1,000, then 13-something. His numbers are comparable to him. But we're going to just talk about the first 3 years of him being in the league. What is Richard Sherman fucking talking about? What is he talking about? Now, if you have a riff with somebody or a team or Dallas or whatever like that, that's ridiculous because you're supposed to be analysts. But this is one of the things that I find somewhat disrespectful. You have a league that is dominated by African Americans. You have a league that is ran by white Americans, the majority of them, by African, dealing with African Americans, and then you're dealing with whites, American whites. That's running these teams. That got all this, and we're not going to go in all that stuff. We can go this, that, the other. Needless to say, we play. Now you look at all of these shows with all of these guys on there. I hear criticism from other white players that talk about players and whatnot, even players that look like them, the other white players, namely quarterbacks and stuff like that. And when you start hearing guys like Sean McCoy and all of them start calling guys ass and this and that, I can't recall white players, another white analyst saying that about another white quarterback or white player, at least, may say it off the camera, but not on camera. And you even get this in basketball. You see with all these podcasts, a lot of these guys used to play ball, guys like Gilbert Arenas and all that, talking shit about guys like Elijah Wan and stuff like that, telling them guys is dead. I said, man, come on, man. It's like the disrespect, it's personal. And it's like you have to say bad stuff, like it's your mama jokes. Just like, where I come from, you didn't talk to your mama. Said that's some up north shit, New York boy shit. I don't know. You talk about somebody's mama, you getting ready to scrap. That's like common tier up in these damn parts here. We didn't get off in all that. At least not where I came from. But so these guys, like I'm like, because in the black community you got this thing called ranking, or either I'm playing the dozens, and these guys talk dirty and filthy about a lot of players, and it's personal, and they talk downright nasty about these players. This is why this whole Stephen A. Smith, why Kwame Brown has said some of the things that he said, and you see this with these guys up there. That's why I don't watch any of those shows. And a lot of those guys that I really respected as players, and still do respect them as players, but as being an analyst, it's fine to be critical, but to sit up there and call a person this and that, for Sean McCoy ass, I'm like, dude, you play with some of the most ass quarterbacks that ever played. You look at Dak's numbers, they're favorable with anybody. Yes, he has to win this. Yes, he has to win. Yes, that's what a lot of fucking quarterbacks have to do. It's just him. Yeah, he has to step up in these moments. As a quarterback, you have to do that. But to say, dude, come on. Yeah, you got all quarterbacks at some point in time will play like some garbage. That happens. You can't say that with that man in his career since he's been in the league in 2016. His stats speak for itself. Now, if he was like, I'm like, but he sits up there next to somebody like Ryan Fitzpatrick. Don't make me pull dude shit up. And I've seen him play like complete garbage year in and year out for well over 14, 15 years. And I have never heard any of those other white commentators or even those black ones sit up there and say, that guy's a piece of fucking garbage. He's garbage. And even when Kansas City played New York and Rodney Harrison was trying to say, talking about Zach Wilson. They hurry up. It's like, how dare you even be talking about him like that? You're wrong for that. And he got to apologize. I think he's supposed to apologize. All this other kind of, you're trying to bait my man to say something derogatory about him. Just like, nah, man, it's just, but he's saying that. It's like, he's going to try to flip it. So I'm going to say this about this player here. See, that didn't work too well. If that was Dak, would he just say he's garbage or something? Like, oh, he's garbage. Just say he's garbage or whatever. See, this is what I'm saying. That's why I don't watch none of those fucking pregame or even postgame shows. Those guys really make me sick, and I lose a lot of respect for them. Still respect them as what they did on the field, but as a commentator or somebody, I say, come on, man, you just trying to get clicks at this particular time. So yeah, man. So those are my picks. That's my little rant dealing with old boy and whatnot, and how they talk about each other, how they talk about other players like that, and it's a level of disrespect that I don't like. If you don't like what he's doing, how he's playing, it's a way to convey that. Even with Steve Smith was talking about Judy and whatnot. He did a nice way, and I'm just trying to help the brother and all and stuff like that or whatever. He ain't got to take, whatever like that. But somebody pulled, but I think it was Judy. They did like their first 3 years in the league. Their stats were identical. So again, it's easy to rattle stuff on and then you forget. Pull up the numbers. Because the numbers, you can say they don't mean nothing, but they mean something because that's why you have stats. That's how you're able to tell and make your picks for awards and for records and everything else. Their stats were similar the first 3 years. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. And he just, and old boy just kind of laughed it off. But hey, man, you young players, just play your ball, man. Don't get caught up in them guys with that, man. A lot of those guys. Hey, man, like I tell you guys all the time, there is no GOAT, there's no greatest of all time as long as time's still going on. And like I tell you all the time, numbers don't lie and get emotional. People do. You guys have a great one. We'll talk with you later.